And as soon as I go live, my phone goes off. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me fix my lighting because I don't know what's going on. Let's fix this light. I completely did not realize my lighting is not lighting. Alright, hopefully this looks a bit better. Okay. And God said, oh, let there be light. Hi, my salty pecans. We have made it. It is Friday. And we're here. Hi, Ruth. I see your comment. You were early and you said be back later. So hopefully you are able to catch up with us tonight. But how are you, my salty pecans? Happy Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. So, hold on, let me fix myself. I didn't realize that. Oh, I thought I was like put together. Okay, I look better now. Hopefully I do. So, it is Friday the 13th. Hi, Miss Lady June. How are you? Thank you so much. You like the hair? Thank you. Thank you. I did a little switch up. I got so bored. Not bored, but I'm like, I've had my locks in for a little while. I love my locks. The locks I've come to realize is Pam's signature. So the locks ain't going nowhere anytime soon. But I did want to like just switch it up really quickly for maybe this week and maybe even next week. I'll bring a different style. I did a little length check. As you may or may not know, depending on how long you've been following me and what content you've watched, I cut my hair about like 2 years ago. I cut it all off and it's grown back quite a good amount in the last 2 years. So your girl is sitting at like mid back length right now. So it's really interesting to see how much your hair grows, especially when it is in a protective style. And my cat's just like, oh, a free lap. Let me say hi to the salty peeps. Say hi, Deeks. Say hi, my boo boo. That's my girl. I love her. Ow. Her nail is like, oh. But we can't have her, especially I'm wearing black today. Oh, please don't do that to my dress. She's about to make biscuits, and I don't need biscuits being made on my black dress right now. So, tonight's live, I started it. It was supposed to have started like about an hour ago. And then I was setting up and I realized the main ingredient in my drink I did not have, which was tequila. So I decided, which is weird because I could have sworn I have tequila, but maybe depending on like when I've entertained, that might have ran out. So I had to change the whole start time of tonight's live and start later because I had to actually run to the store to pick up a new tequila for tonight's drink. So tonight's houseplant and cocktail is going to be the tequila moonrise. I'm not sure if you've heard of a tequila sunrise before, but this is the dark version of it. So we're going to be making a tequila moonrise tonight. And also I want to repot like 2 of my houseplants because just looking at them, I'm like, they need fixing. And I gotta put this back in its place. It's like a big old empty spot behind me that doesn't need to be a big old empty spot. So I'm gonna put Mr. Scully back there. And yeah, we'll start our cocktail, catch up on the week, and do our little planty bits. Okay, so let's do that. Actually, but before we do planty bits, I'm gonna put a couple of my bats. If you see those bats behind me, I have a couple more. So I just want to like stick them up with you to make it feel like we're decorating together. So let's do that. now we look like we are on the business now. So let's move our cocktail station over. And I'm going to get into tonight's HauzPlant cocktail with you all. All right. All right. Before I do that, like I started last week, and I think I want to do it for this week as well. I want to record myself filming my cocktail. So let's do that as well. Okay. Nothing's in the frame. That doesn't need to be in the frame. Okay, and I think I'm good. All right. Hi, my salty pecans, and on tonight's video, it's so funny filming content while live streaming, but I've done this already with you all, so let's do this again. Hi, my salty pecans. Let me get in a better frame here. No. All right, let's get it. All right, better. Hi, my salty pecans, and on today's video, we're actually going to be making a tequila moonrise. A tequila moonrise is a composite of a couple of different mixes, but the main aspect of tonight's drink, for me especially, is we are spookifying our cocktail. And you're like, spookifying cocktail? Yeah, I'm spookifying the cocktail by adding activated charcoal. So if you're ever wondering, how do these people, they get their cocktails to be so dark and it looks so spooky without, adding maybe like a black spirit, use activated charcoal. So that is what we're going to be using in our tequila moonrise. We're also going to be needing tequila since it's tequila moonrise, and I decided to pick up a 1800, and this is the 100% agave azul reposado. That's what we're drinking tonight. You will need some grenadine. You will need your shaker, of course, your activated charcoal. You're going to need some fresh squeezed oranges, and of course, I'm going to squeeze my oranges in this, measure it out in my measure, and you'll need some ice. So this cocktail actually calls for a capsule worth of activated charcoal, but I don't have activated, like, I don't have capsules of charcoal. I actually just have the activated charcoal itself. So we are going to just use the smallest spoon that I personally own, okay? Look how tiny this thing is. My mom got this for me. So let's go ahead and make our tequila moonrise. Let's get here. Okay, so first thing first is you are going to mix a half a capsule's worth of activated charcoal powder with about 2 teaspoons worth of grenadine. So this looks about like a half of a capsule's worth. I'm thinking of those dissolvable capsules that certain medications come in. So that's what it looks like in my shaker. All right, and about 2 ounces of grenadine. So you're going to mix it into like a paste. until it's dark. And you know what? Just for added color, I just added a little bit more of the activated charcoal, and it says to mix it until all of it dissolves and mixes with the grenadine. So you get this like dark syrupy slur, you know, delicious. To this, you're going to add ice to the shaker, and then you're going to also add 2 ounces of fresh orange juice, and the orange juice I'm using is this. So let me cap my activated charcoal since we're no longer using it. Put you to the side. Got a little syrup on my fingers. Okay. Just gonna take some of the seeds out. And go ahead and squeeze my 2 ounces of orange juice. Okay, same thing. Like that. And 2 ounces of OJ. All right. So there we go. 2 ounces exactly. All right. Put this to the side. And now to this, I'm going to add my ice. And also to my glass, I'm going to add ice. And of course, I always say it, it's my leaf motif. Ice leaves. The next ingredient you're going to be adding is 2 ounces of gold tequila. And again, I'm using 1800. Gotta pop tap it before we sip on. And I'm gonna put like a little under 2 ounces. Do like 1.5 ounces of tequila to this. Just like that. Oh! Oh my gosh! Ugh. We're done. Let me see what's going on here. Hi, CJ. No, I'm not going out. I'm just here with you all. All right. Before I pour, I'm going to just slice this right here. Right. And then give myself another slice. Oh, this orange is so sweet. Just cut it like so. Give our cocktail a nice pour. And voila. Ladies and gentlemen, a tequila moonrise. Cheers, yeah, cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to you too. But cheers mainly to my salty peeps. Let's give it a taste. Mmm. This is delicious. Mm-hmm. It's not like bam in your face. Because, tequila will honestly have you on your ass. But we want to avoid that. So definitely make yourself a tequila moonrise if you get the opportunity. Okay, so flavor. I think since this is more of an orangey grenadine sort of cocktail, it's very citrusy. It's fresh, fruity, citrusy. The fresh orange juice with a bit of like that agave, like aftertaste is so good. And the grenadine just adds a little bit of like sweetness that you really need. And you can't taste the activated charcoal. You don't, it's like flavorless. Mm-hmm. This is really good. It's really good. So, how's everybody's week been? How is everyone doing? I feel like I got like a hair in my eye. I hope everyone is doing good. So today was so busy for me at work. It has been the busiest day this week thus far. So I'm so happy today is over. I worked from home today. So I decided I had things that I needed to go out and get, but I'm not sure what it's like in your city, in your state, but here in New York, New York is number one when it comes to a lot of just like protesting, demonstrations, and of course, the citizens and residents just voicing their opinions in regards to everything going on around the world. So, everything going on in Palestine, between the Israelis and the Palestinians. There's a lot of just like protesting and demonstrations going on all over the city. So I'm like, I'm just going to stay home and maybe hopefully tomorrow, like morning, I can step out and do what I have to do. I'm also happy that I didn't have to go into the office. Those are like the best days, believe it or not, for me. This is good. This is a cocktail that will sneak up on you, okay? Because when you think about it, it's literally equal parts orange juice and equal parts tequila, okay? When you really think about it. I did tweak mine just a smidge. I added just like a smidge more orange juice and a smidge less tequila because I didn't want, to be overly alcoholified tonight. I just want to chill and vibe with you all. So yeah. Actually, I don't even know where my. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so tonight's live, I want to add a couple more of these little bats up here. Okay, so before we get into the planty part, let's add these little bats. I believe I got this on Amazon last year, and I reused them, and it comes with so much that I can't even get through half of this package. So this package came with, I think it's 3 or 4 different size bats. So they have the large bats. So as you can see, I've used this last year. So they have the larger bats. Oh, let me stop mine. I didn't realize my phone was still recording. The larger bats, the medium bats, and then they have the baby bats. So that comes in there. I also decorated in like other parts of the apartment too. It's so cute. So cute. Okay. And it comes with this like double-sided foamy sticky thing. So even though it's like pre-perforated, like pre-parted, I also use these to like the bordering because that's like free sticky that you don't need to toss out. So let's put that sticky on the large bat. That's the bordering. Okay. So that easy. Can y'all see? Just like that. Cute. How's everyone's week been? How's your week been, Miss Lady June? How's your week been, CJ? Mr. Highlander? And how's my salty, I said salty, my silent viewing salty pecans been as well? I do love when like some of you who never comment will comment and it's like, oh my gosh, there are more salty peeps in the fam to join the cookiness because if if you're a regular salty pecan, just like CJ's talking to Miss Lady June, Ruth will be in here, Deb will be in here, Felix will be in here, just like chatting it up with everyone, just to name a few of my salty pecans. So it's really dope when you guys are active, so I know who's watching. Because everything is virtual. So it does feel nice to know, okay, real human beings are watching me. It's not just like bots watching. I actually have real salty pecans, like engaging with me, giving me advice, laughing alongside me, all that jazz. So let's see, where else can y'all see? On here, maybe? Right here? What you think? How about right here? Cute. I think somebody needs to go over here. What size should I put over there? A bigger bat like so? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Doing a little subtle decorating right quick with y'all. How do I want this to lay? I want it to lay like this, okay. 525,600 minutes under your measure of you. Okay, cute. I think I might add somebody right here. What y'all think? You doing good, Miss Lady June? Happy to not be on furlough? Are you looking forward to, a proper decision in November? I know I am. Right? That's cute. Right? Should somebody go here? I think somebody should go here. Let's put a little baby. A little baby. Or should I put a medium? Seasons of love. I think the smaller one is cuter in that spot. Okay. So for tonight's video though, I just want to double check. I think I might have to go to my other plant closet just to make sure. Where exactly I want you to be. Here. Yeah. Turn you around like that. Like so. What do y'all think? Tiny, subtle, but cute. I think I might need maybe one here. All right. I also have in my living room. So if you're like a Harry Potter fan, or you know of Harry Potter, you grew up with Harry Potter, you know the floating candles from Harry Potter. So I actually have in my living room the floating candles like floating from my ceiling. It's so freaking cute. It is so freaking cute. Let's see. Okay, that's one. And let's do this also. All right. Perfect. We got it as spookified as I think I want it to be spookified for this room. And of course, there are hundreds left that I did not do anything with. All right. What do you all think? Do you like my little added touch of spookiness? I added some pumpkins in here. I added some bats, spookified it. Hi, Deborah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cheers. All right, so let me go ahead and grab the two plants that I want to make tonight's video with. Thank you, Deb. I did a little new style. I cut some bangs, switched it up. Switched it up a little bit. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let me go ahead, grab my phone, grab the plants, and we're going to get to planting. So going to clean up the table because, we use the table to make our cocktails and then we use the table after to handle business. plant can't even like stand up on its own. It's so top heavy. Look at these roots. Oh my gosh. Embarrassing. So embarrassing, okay? It's so embarrassing. There's juice that like is like on the floor. But and my Cebu blue. Where are you? Got some work to do now. Come on, Cebu blue. I need you. Cebu, Cebu blue. Where are you? We're ready and with blend. We can count on you. Cebu blue. You know we got a mystery to songs to be look back for your act. Don't hold back. That's what we do, you know, the lemon gonna have yourself a movie snack. That's a fact. Blue, 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 are you? We got some work to do now. Ain't count on you. Cebu blue. All right. Enough of my Cebu blue. Okay. I'm a clown. Everything can be a tune. Everything can be a tune. Okay. Almost done, y'all. I just want to make sure I don't have any extra plants that I want. That's a fact. All right. I'm ready, salty peeps. All the extra bits. I needed to get a new bag of Work It Dark. I'm telling you, after finding out that I did not have any tequila, I just became so disoriented with prepping for tonight's video. I thought I had certain things. I didn't. But we're here. We did it. All right. So let's go ahead and grab some items to film. Here. I think I'm going to upgrade you to this. Okay. That for you. And okay. I'm getting hot now. I'm getting hot. I'm getting so hot. Oh my gosh. I thought I took this, but I didn't. All right. So, you like my little jamming, CJ? My sweet, sweet blue, Cebu blue. Right here. So, I purchased the Cebu blue a few years back, and it was doing great. But like plants in our collection, one day it decided it no longer wants to be great, and it no longer wants me to be great. And it's like I'm going to off myself. So, as many plants parents do, we do our best to save the plant when we notice that it's declining. So, after, attempts of saving this plant, it did save it, even though she didn't want to be saved. I had to save her. She didn't want to be saved, but I still had to save her. Okay. So, roots wise, this is how the root system of the Cebu blue is doing. Pretty healthy, but I am noticing a couple of just like brown tips on some of the ends. Okay. So just to again allow this plant to grow a bit better than it is growing in water, okay? I want it to grow better in soil. So we're going to transfer this beauty into soil, okay? And I thought I did want to. I think for the Cebu blue, pot wise, I'm going to just grab this. No. This is the partner to Freddie Mercury's little garden. So I don't know if you see, but Mr. Mercury has a little shovel in front of him. So let me just add these in front of him. Oh no! My queen! The next plant that I do want to repot is my beautiful Hoya Rebecca. This Hoya does is just growing, and it's such a happy plant, and it's very, very happy, so much so that the roots are bursting out from the bottom of the container. So I'm like, you know what, let me give this plant an upgrade. So I think I want to add my Cebu blue into here originally, and I want to give my, this is too small for the Hoya. Who is it? I'm thinking, yeah, this is way too small to upgrade the Hoya Rebecca. So let me figure out what pot I'm going to upgrade the Hoya Rebecca to. I need something deep enough. But I also want something plastic. Okay, I want something plastic, and I want it to be deep enough. So I've just been finding that over the last couple of years, um, since I started collecting Hoyas, I have found that I do prefer many of them to be in plastic containers versus terracotta. Excuse me. When I first started collecting houseplants, not first collecting houseplants, when I first started collecting Hoyas, the plants were new to me, the species were new to me, and honestly, across the board, a lot of the plant care advice that I did find online from, the very small online plant community at that time was to give your Hoyas, put it in a terracotta pot, give it well draining soil, and then let it bone dry out until the leaves start to prune, and then you water it. Please, I think across the board for many, 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 many plants, do not let your plants dry out to the point where the leaves itself start to curl, because that means the plant is so dry, it's killing the leaves to take all of the nutrients from it, which is opposite of what the point of having your plant. Your leaves are not supposed to start to shrivel. That's extreme, okay? So what I found with Hoyas is that most of them in my collection, if I actually keep them moderately watered, they do great. And also with Hoyas, what I've noticed is that during the points when Hoyas plus every other plant, but because I'm speaking about Hoya Rebecca more specifically, or Hoyas in general Hoyas more specifically, when they're like flowering, when they're putting out peduncles, when they're pushing out new growth, that is the point where you actually need to up it up with watering. I found that watering more frequently when you are noticing your Hoyas are exhibiting new growth, when you notice your Hoya is pushing out peduncles, when you notice your Hoya peduncles are blooming, water your babies, okay? So that is, one thing that I noticed. And again, to keep it relatively moist all around, because I do use a chunky soil mix, plastic containers work best for me with my Hoyas. So I want to, like I said, put the Cebu blue inside of this terracotta container. And we're going to put our Hoya Rebecca. Now, this is the perfect container for it because it lives freely in here. So let's make our substrate mix. I'm going to make a similar substrate mix for the both of them. I already have this old soil. I'm not sure from what plant, but I'm gonna not use it today. Well, I'm not gonna use all of it. I'm gonna use some of it, but for the most part, I'm just gonna put it in here. Pamela, why are you not set up, brother? Hi, Felix. It's okay. Don't worry. I started late, so you're actually on time. I started late. I started at like 8 tonight. Oh my gosh. There's something like this here. Or is it soil that's trying to ruin my fly? What the heck? You're not about to make me rub my eye. CJ said, hey, Felix. Hey, Princess, I can grow my big, beautiful Hoyas, but mine never flower. Okay. So I think there's a multitude of things, like factors that go behind Hoyas and Hoya flowering. I can't believe I've been on here for 45 minutes already. It does not feel like I've been on here for 45 minutes. JJ, 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 JJ. I always have a random song playing in my head. I'm always either like actively bopping to music in my head or silently bopping to music in my head. There's always a beat playing. There's always a song playing in my head. Does that make me crazy? Okay. So let's do our substrate mix, okay? We love this container. I mean, plug my phone in because it's about to die. Okay. And go here. All right. Okay, so substrate mix. Let's do it. Got a fresh bag of orchid bark, and I would have added actually soil into this mix, but my soil is actually chilling out in my hallway right now. Stupid me. Yes, this is something that has not happened to me in so many years, but in my plant room, I don't like to keep like substrate materials in here because there are living plants, and with living plants there are living pests. So one thing in regards to pests, and more specifically fly gnats, is that I notice if they're not breeding in the soil, they're breeding somewhere. And where are those somewheres? Okay. So those somewheres can either be in little like orifices, right? In your home. So like the sink drain in your kitchen, the bathroom drain in your bathroom kitchen, in your bathroom sink, the tub drain in your tub. So the fly gnats, they're so small, they're little eggs, they stick them to any sort of like, I'm not gonna say bacteria, but live organisms, things that they can decaying matter, right? So like spit, dead skin cells, all of that, they attach their eggs to it, and the eggs hatch, they fly, and you're like, where the hell are these things coming from, like all the time? So cleaning your drains help with fly gnats. So an easy way to clean your drain is, of course, the very popular baking soda, vinegar, right? So you pour baking soda, you pour vinegar, and you basically put like a stopper, right? And you let the baking soda and vinegar just eat up at the gunk inside of the drain, right? And then while all of that is happening, you already have like a pot of water like boiling, right? So then you take that pot of water, you after like a couple minutes or so, pour that hot piping water down your drain to kill and eliminate any like larva from fly gnats, maybe fruit flies, stuff like that, right? That's one way to kill fly gnats from your home. If you're like, all right, I'm taking care of the plants, I put my mosquito bits, I don't know why fly gnats are still here. It might be in your drains. The next place that fly gnats actually love to exist, outside of the physical plant soil itself, is in your substrate medium. Maybe you might not have noticed, but sometimes if you purchase bags of soil or even bags of like orchid bark, materials that actually absorb, that hold moisture in, they actually like to breed inside of these bags. So sometimes it might not be your home that is having all of these pests. It could actually just be the soil you're bringing into your home that contains the fly gnats, or you open, I'm like, what's that cracking sound? But it was my cat eating. You open like a bag of soil, you step away for a minute of a second, you come back, little Billy Bob, the boll weevil, and his cousin, Mr. Fungus Gnat, decided to, knock on the door of this bag and see if there's anybody home. And there was nobody home. And they're like, oh, let me just go ahead and make myself comfy. And it infests your entire bag of substrate. So the whole reason I'm saying that is I was noticing there were more fly gnats than I have ever had in my collection. And you're probably like, oh my God, Pam, more fly gnats. I'm literally saying I've probably seen like 10 fly gnats in this whole room. And that's alarming for me, right? 10 fly gnats might not be alarming for some, but that's alarming for me because I don't have fly gnats in my collection. Come to find out, the source of the fly gnats was the soil bag that I had in my room. So I had a soil bag like on the floor. Didn't think anything of it. Thought over time I became immune to certain things. No. I opened that bag and I swear to you it was just a cesspool of freaking fly gnats inside of that soil bag. When I tell you, I, with the quickest of haste, closed that bag so fast. I grabbed this freaking scotch tape, right? I'm like, oh, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, no, to the no, no, no. And I put that shit right back in the fucking hallway. And when I get a chance, maybe next week or maybe this weekend, depending on how I'm feeling, because my neighborhood is having like the block like carnival kids festival, like small business thing tomorrow. So I'm actually so happy to head out because they haven't done it, I think, since obviously like last summer. And I love when my neighborhood does it. So I'm so excited because I went outside to pick up the freaking tequila and I noticed they had the Ferris wheel truck parked like in front of my building, and a couple blocks down they had is it like the roller coaster like set up, like they're setting all of that up for tomorrow, and I'm so excited. So anyways, maybe next week, but I'm going to have to head to like Home Depot. I think I purchased it at Home Depot or Lowe's, whichever one it is, and just get a new fresh bag of soil because they give you a year to deal with like substrate with plants and all of that. So I'm gonna head there and be like, this shit is trying to infest my collection and we're not doing that. Yeah. So that was my long story. So I think I got onto this topic because I was talking to CJ about blooming. But basically Felix hit the nail on the head. He said it could be a lot of factors to bloom: sun, fertilizer, and temperature. So that is really a lot of the factors, and also the age of the plant as well. Because if you have like a Hoya, all right, I only say this because when I first got into collecting Hoyas, I think the first Hoya that I purchased was my Hoya Carnosa Compacta, this beauty, right? Let me show you. All right, so it was this beauty that I purchased. It was like my first Hoya, and when I got it, it was much smaller. Jeez. Oh no! Look what happened! Look what happened! This plant got a little too dry, and it ended up drying all of this up until here, and it dried out one of the peduncles that it was putting out. Oh, so sad. But anyways, so I contacted Costa Farms because this plant was it's a Costa Farm, was whatever, a Costa Farms plant, and I asked them, hey, so typically, generally, how long do you advise that your Hoyas take before they bloom? Like, how old are they? They're like, the plants around like 2 years, after like it's like maturing, it should grow. So if you get like a brand new plant that started from nothing, then it takes, it has to mature. And the next thing, like Felix said, is fertilization. So depending on like how you fertilize your plants, there are many different ways to fertilize your plants. Hoyas in particular, they are foliar sort of fertilized. They have a foliar preference for fertilization. And foliar fertilization is for plants like orchids, Hoyas. They like more of a foliar fertilization. So that just means that instead of you putting your fertilizer in the soil, right, as you're watering it, you spray the fertilizer onto the leaves as well. So that is like, I know with my Hoyas, I do like foliar fertilization with them. I'm just looking around to see if I have the fertilizer that I use for my Hoyas. All right, so this is just me, like I don't have like an organic plant collection. I like to use pesticides, but just always be mindful of like what you use in your plants. I don't use pesticides on my edible plants. I don't use mosquito bits on my edible plants, but I use pesticides, mosquito bits, certain products on my non-edible, just more ornamental, pretty to look out plants. For my Hoyas, what I love to use is this. I personally, I don't know if 100% this is the reasoning behind it, but I swear by this product for my Hoyas. Okay. So that is what I use for that. And I also use my Super Thrive. I love Super Thrive in my plants. Super Thrive, I think, is like a miracle product. And this also 1 second. I'm going into the plant collection now. Okay. And believe it or not, these are the two fertilizers that I use in my collection that are not foliar. So my hair is like, what's going on? What's going on? That piece of hair is like walling for respect, fiending for attention. Get back there. All right. So for the most part, to be honest, these are the 3 products that I use in regards to fertilizing in my collection. I love Osmocote. It's a slow release fertilizer. I sprinkle Osmocote on all my plants because I typically don't fertilize my plants like on schedule. I kind of just fertilize when I remember to fertilize during the growing seasons, the growing months. So just in case, I put a little Osmocote on everybody. So this is like my slow release fertilizer. I use this on my Hoyas, on my orchids. I use it on my my shark tooth cactus. I use it on my string of hearts. I use this on my ripsalis. So my plants that they bloom from the foliage itself. So ripsalis like to put little flowers. They're close to the family of Hoyas. Hoyas, of course. And yeah, so I like to use this on, like I said, my shark tooth cactus, my ripsalis, my Hoyas. And liquid dirt, I like to use liquid dirt on all of my house plants, everybody. It doesn't matter if you're organic, whether I use pesticide on you, whether you're a foliar loving plant. I use this on everything. And you can actually, if you go on their website, liquiddirt.com, you can use my name, Pamella Pierre. I have not used this code in so long or shared this code in so long. You can use my name, Pamella Pierre, to get a discount off of your purchase. Okay. So PamellaPierre, you'll get a discount. But yeah. And yeah, I make a little commission off of if you do use my name. But again, I have not spoken about this product in 2-3 years and I still use it. So I really enjoy this product and it lasts you so long. So long. Let me get a sippy sip of my cocktail and let me read these comments. All right. Deb says, girl, I think in song 95% of the time. Nice to see I'm not alone. Yeah, literally. Oh, Deb, I don't think you were here in the beginning. I was actually, speaking of songs, singing this in song. I was like, Cebu, Cebu Blue, where are you? We got some work to do now. Turn Cebu Blue into Scooby-Doo. Classic. Deb says, I be singing everything as I do it. Fly night in the bag, hell no, what a grab. Yes. CJ said, is your soil too moist in the bag? The soil has to have some sort of moisture, right, from the manufacturer. So the products that don't have moisture when I purchase them usually are the cocoa coir, right, because that's husk. My peat moss tends to be more on the powdery dry side, but I do notice my orchid bark usually has a bit of moisture in the bag and my soil tends to have moisture in the bag. So it's a breeding room for fly gnats. It's warm, it's dark, it's humid. They're having an entire orgy in those moist bags. So that thing is in the hallway. Gross. CJ says, right, Pam, a lot of individuals use orchid fertilizer since majority of Hoyas are epiphytic. Correct. Deb says, gotta walk the dog before dark. It's fun as usual. Y'all have a safe, whatever you need, fun, restful, healing weekend. Oh, thank you, Deb. Enjoy your walk. You're still house pet sitting. So let me get into the repotting of these plants. I'm here jabbering in your ear, but this is what it is. This is what we do on our live. So after I finish with this, I'm gonna put this in the other plant closet that I have that's not in here, where I actually like to keep my mixes because it's nowhere near any plants. It's dry there, and I don't, yeah. So I'm gonna put a good amount of this orchid bark. And close it up. And I am going to grab my perlite. Add some perlite into here. Ooh. Everything besides it wants to fall. Doing a little bit of horticultural charcoal. I'm eyeing everything because I kind of know the texture I'm looking for. Oh, that's a lot of charcoal. Take a couple bits out. Are y'all following social media? That whole Will and Jada mess. I cannot believe these people have just, I'm not going to say lying in our face because they don't owe anybody anything. But I think it's just a bit ridiculous that for the past 7 years, they've been separated. But when you come out in public, you know, you're going around parading this fake love or going around parading that you guys are in a happy matrimony, you know, when you've been separated and banging other people. That's why, you know, never make anyone's relationship your couple goals because you never know what truth, you know, lays in the dark. But, and I'm just side-eyeing Jada because I guess marketing wise, she's a marketing genius, but she's using a lot of, you know, in the wake of this whole Tupac murder with Keefe D, in the wake of all that, you know, she's just capitalizing off of that information and seeing her book is coming out. So she's definitely like, let me take advantage of this because why not? So side item is Jada Pickett Smith. Jada Pickett. I'm adding a little bit of sphagnum moss. All right. Let me get some water. Give me 1 second. One time for my LA sisters. One time for my LAOs. One time to the she knows. Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. I got some water because I know with my peat moss, that thing is so dry. it sabotaged my catnip this past summer because it refused to absorb any water, and I was disturbing the soil a bit too much for where the soil wanted to be. So it never fully. This has been pre-washed, perlite. Just pre-moistening it just to make my potting easier. All right. Nice little slush slur. Okay. So the first one is here. And I made sure I saved my laundry sheets, used laundry sheets. I'm just going to line the bottom. So freaking good. I'm going to line the bottom. Like so. Let's grab that like that. The roots came out clean. That's what I wanted. Now let me bring this closer so you can have a look at how the madness that are these roots. Look at that. This plant definitely needed an upgrade. Okay. Give it a little scrunch down to just, bring it into the pot. And I'm going to just shovel the substrate now around the remainder of the plant. And I'm going to bring it to the side and add substrate over here. I think for this winter, I want to bring back these little mini sort of shovels. They are so cute and they are so convenient to do repottings with. For like little holiday stocking stuffers. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do holiday stocking stuffers for this Christmas season. So pretty much soon after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna have like little early Christmas sort of buys that you can get. JJ, 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 JJ. And again, making sure every corner, every side has this mix, okay? Because my Hoyas love a very orchidy mix. So CJ, fertilization is another factor. Like I was saying earlier, the temperature that your the room that your Hoyas are in does affect it. Humidity levels as well affect how your plants are growing. The sort of sunlight that it's getting affects how your Hoya is flowering. The amount of water that you give it. So it's no like roadmap to getting your Hoyas to flower. Honestly, I would say Hoyas are, it's just like a game of time and a game of chance and a game of patience and a game of appreciation for when it finally does happen. I've gotten a few Hoyas to bloom for me so far in my collection. For example, this Hoya Rebecca has not bloomed for me, but even though it hasn't flowered yet, it has just been growing a whole lot. So sometimes you sacrifice maybe a flower for new growth, but I always say growth at the end of the day is really what's more important to me. I much rather, you know, notice that my plant is growing, is getting larger, and it might not just be at the maturity level for it just yet to flower in your collection. But don't give up hope, it will happen eventually. So the moment that it does happen, you're really, really going to cherish that. Because for me, I remember the first time that I noticed that a Hoya was flowering for me. And that might have been like maybe like 2 or 3 ish years ago. And that was my Hoya SPAF Bertanoy. And I was just like, wait, when did this happen? I came into the room one random day and I just like noticed this red, like burgundy thing just on my green leaves. And I was just like, what the? Oh my gosh. And I kind of like just went crazy. And since then, a couple other Hoyas have flowered for me. So I'm just like really excited about that. But it'll happen, Siege. Don't worry. Just be a little patient and give it time. Okay. Different conditions, so I'm good. Okay. So CJ said, I feel ya, but I have them in 3 different grow rooms under different conditions, so I'm good. Rather have really nice plants. Again, it's gonna happen. It might not also be the season too, because like I mentioned, that Hoya Bertanoy, it bloomed for me during the winter. Like the plant literally lives right above my radiator, and I have all of my Hoyas like in the same window. But that plant, even though it wasn't the first Hoya I got, that was the first Hoya that bloomed for me. So maybe genetics wise, the cutting that it came from was probably like more mature or older. So that strand decided to like bloom on its own. Or maybe the humidity from the makeshift humidifier that I create for my plants helped it. But that was the only Hoya that bloomed, you know? And then I didn't get another Hoya to bloom for until like maybe like the following year. And again, it's not like I did anything special. I was just actively doing things that I believe would make it, I believe, would make the Hoya bloom. So things like using foliar fertilizers, I told myself like, okay, should help my Hoya bloom. Um, being a bit more mindful of how I'm watering it should also, you know, help motivate the Hoya to bloom. So don't give up, siege. It's gonna happen. And you're right, healthy plants ultimately is the goal. Healthy, happy plants and a happy plant parent too is also very important. So you being happy with your collection is also important too. But you got this, plant daddy. Don't worry. You got this. Now I'm doing the Cebu blue. This is just to aerate this a little bit more. There are 4 individual plants in here, and I actually think I'm going to divide the plant. So if you look at this one in particular, roots are growing from here, roots are also growing from here. So I'm just gonna, from this connection, just snap that off to divide that into 2 separate plants, okay? I'm gonna observe this one too. For now, this all is supported here, so I'm not going to bother this one. This one, can I? All right, I'm going to, for this piece, I'm going to leave this intact, but when I'm laying the plant, I'm going to try to lay it in a way where instead of me sticking this whole thing in the soil like so this sticks up, I'm going to try and like make it like more of a circular lay. So in my mind, hopefully it will promote new growth from, these 2 points. And for this third piece, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to lay it more like across, like so. Okay. Hold on. You might hear a little brush because I look a little cray-cray. Okay. Right. Okay. Perfect. So I have some soil in here. Give it a little pat down. Give it a little aeration. And let's get to puddings. Not this one first. I want to put this one in, like right here. And the roots are here. Pack that like that. Let it hang off to the side. This one, similarly, I'm gonna put it like over here. I'm going to add some substrate mix. All right, so I kind of have the roots, a layer of soil on top of it. Now I'm going to add these. More on the top now. Okay. All right. To be honest, I'm really not committing to how this is, so we're just gonna cut you right here. This plant will be okay. And I'm gonna stick it just like that. I'm not really too crazy about all this unnecessary extra internode, making the plant work harder than it needs to. Let's tuck this over here. All right. And this last bit, I'm gonna just stick it here. So here is more of an aerial sort of view of what this is looking like right now. All of the roots are congregating in the center. So you remind me of something. I don't know what it is. You remind me of something. You gotta show it. You remind me of something. I don't know what it is. You remind me of something. You gotta show it. I'm the real, no lie. I don't know what it is, but you just my type. I'm the real, no fly. You gotta show it. Yes. Perfect. All right. Everyone is laying how I'm wanting them to lay. Oh no, why are you mixing up here? You're not supposed to be over here. You're supposed to be over there. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Give everybody a little tuck flat down. And voila. I'm not going to be watering anybody since the soil is already pre-moistened. And I'm going to place this near my window so it can actually root itself even better in this mix. Our Hoya Rebecca, she's going to go back to where she lives. Again, already moistened. I'm actually going to water this plant tomorrow morning. I'm going to let everything just like settle. Okay. But I know my Hoya Rebecca is one of those plants that she does better when you are more conscious of how you're watering her versus being like, oh, I'll figure it out tomorrow. She likes, when you stay on top of her care. So Miss Rebecca's going back. Beautiful Cebu blue is going back. And that pretty much is the conclusion of tonight's houseplant and cocktails. And again, thank you so much, my salty pecans, for joining me tonight. Let's slide this one. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, so we made a delicious tequila moonrise. We have soil under our fingernails, perfect to match our cocktail. We added some more bats for our decorations. And yeah, if you haven't already, my salty pecans, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up for me. If you've been rocking with me for the last hour or so, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, because you're enjoying what you watch. Even if you're not a subscriber, you're still lurking. So just like lurk in peace. Don't like lurk in secrecy. I know you're watching, so just do it. And following my other social media networks at HauzPlant, HauzPlant. Okay. I love you all. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Please take this time to enjoy yourself, to rest, and do whatever else you need to do. Next week, I will be actually going live earlier next week. So if you're able to maybe come on earlier, I think I might go live around maybe like 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just factor, what time 5 p.m. your state would be if you want to join me live, okay? Because next Friday, I have a few things to do. Next weekend will be super packed for me, but I do want to make sure I get on here and do a live, even if it's for like a half hour. I'm gonna just try to like come on here and chat with y'all, okay? So it will also be, I think. Oh, let me look at my calendar. Yeah, so next Friday will also be our second to last cocktail for October. Okay, so we have two more Halloween cocktails that we are going to enjoy for Halloween. So we'll see what your girl makes then. But this baby actually, again, had some delicious activated charcoal that we use to make our cocktail darker. Okay. Ooh, refreshing. With that being said, I love you all, my salty pecans. Thank you so much, CJ, for being here. I know Deb isn't here anymore, but thank you for joining. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Miss Lady June. Thank you, Ruth. I love you, my salty pecans. And I will see you in a next one. Keep an eye out for a new video this weekend, okay? A pre-recorded video, because I'm trying to, put out content for the month of October, okay? So love you all. I'll see you then. Let's get going. Bye. Love you guys. Oh, Lola wanted to come say hi before we left. She said you let Jake say hi, but you don't let me say hi. Oh, look at this chunk. Oh, look at this chunk. I want to eat her. She's like so chunky. All right, bye, salty pecans. I'll see you all on the next one. No, that's that I'm annoyed face. That's that I'm annoyed face. Bye. I'll see y'all. Let's get going. Yeah. Yeah. You're chunky. You're chunky.